Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about the Kennywood pool, which some of you may or may not remember, and some alternate plans that could have happened, the pool that could have been, and I talk about maybe why it wasn't and how the pool that was there took shape. So I'm going to share my screen now and show you some things from our collection. Okay, so this is a photo taken in 1925, the first year the pool opened. It's a big panoramic that really shows you the size of the pool. I'll just start by giving you a profile of what we're talking about here. As I said, built in 1925, it was approximately 350 feet by 180 feet. This is an artist rendering of it, of the design. It also included spectator seating and dressing rooms and a sandy beach. So it sort of had everything you could want in a giant, fantastic pool. The floor was graduated, so you had a really shallow end at 1 feet and it went the whole way to 10 feet in depth. And throughout the correspondence in this collection, I've seen it referred to as the largest and best pool in Western Pennsylvania, and perhaps it was at a time. But at one point, I came across two letters that really piqued my curiosity and made me look into things a little bit further. This is just a view of the seating construction, a closer view of that I wanted to share. And a view of the beach. But these are the two letters I'm talking about in particular. On the left is a letter from engineer Wesley Bintz, in which he asks Kennywood about their plan for a pool. Kennywood's reply on the right states that they were not contemplating a pool, but if they did, they'd be in touch. Amongst these two pieces of correspondence were letters from Kennywood to other cities seeking pool advice. And I thought, that's kind of funny. Why would Kennywood be asking other cities in the same time frame about building a pool, yet whenever this engineer asked them about it, they said that they weren't really thinking about it. Something just seemed odd, so I wanted to find out more about this Wesley Bintz, who he was, and what exactly he was trying to do for Kennywood. So I found out that he was the city engineer for Lansing, Michigan, the state capital and his hometown. And he designed these egg-shaped pools. Now, these are not from our collection, I want to clarify. I also put a citation down at the bottom so you can see as we're going along. But these are the two patent drawings of the pools that he had designed. And what the selling point was that they were a lot easier to construct because they were an above-ground pool. And that also meant that they were a lot cheaper. They were made in this sort of egg shape because he believed that corners were wasted space in a pool. And as you can also see, they often included spectator seating, and the dressing rooms were located right below it around the perimeter of the pool. These are recent images of the oldest surviving Bintz swimming pool, which is located in Lansing, Michigan. The Moores Park pool was built in 1923 and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. So with that in mind, it's easy to see how a Bintz pool like this would have fit in with the other structures at Kennywood, like roller coasters like the Jackrabbit and the Racer. Similarly, though, a large percentage of Bintz pools were constructed near rivers and streams, and one historian speculates that this might be because it was easier to fill or empty it. And if we think about where Kennywood is located along Monongahela River, that would make sense as to why he thought Kennywood would be a good place for one of his pools. There are approximately 70 of these built across the United States between 1919 and 1960, and they're really unique and they embody this sort of stylistic architecture of every era. So this is an example of one that is still in operation, and it has, you know, these streamlined edges, block lettering of the 1950s. Located in Boise, Idaho, it is owned by a school. And I got curious about where else there might be one in our area in Southwest Pennsylvania. And through historic Pittsburgh, I found this clipping of the Burke Glen pool, which was a smaller amusement park east of Pittsburgh. And by all accounts, it appears that this was a Bent's pool, but I could not find any definitive information that really confirmed that. So it could as well just be an imitation. Nonetheless, it has a really similar structure and functions in a very similar way. So with all of that in mind, I started thinking about, Kennywood was asking all of these pools across the nation what really made them successful. And it seemed as though they went and tried to collect all of the successful characteristics of pools in America and put it into one pool at Kennywood. And this list of the people who contributed to the pool construction really sort of drives that point home. Similarly, they would never lease or rent their rides and other amusements at the park. It really seemed like a point of pride to make things on their own things on their own, and make Kennywood by the people and for the people of Pittsburgh. So long story short, that's the path those two letters took me down. And all of this to say, Kennywood never really took the easy way out of doing their work. And I just thought this was a really interesting story to hear about something that was so nationally well known, the Bent's pool, and it was often sought after. Whereas for Kennywood, it's like they knew what they wanted and they knew what their people wanted. And I just thought that was a really nice thing to discover and see in these records. So again, thank you.